Yo, what's good people? How y'all living, man? You see your boy out here. Ooh, I'm flying. I'm playing. But you see where we at, baby? We at the top, baby. We at the top, you feel me? We ain't at the top, but we'll get there one day. Yeah, I mean, we'll get there one day. But it's your boy, you feel me? Back at it again. Almost didn't post one for this week, man. I was trying to do one with people and couldn't figure out how to do the mics, but I figured out how to use two mics. I have two mics. Shout out to my boy Dave, man. White Dave to be exact. That's my boy. Love that boy. But yeah, shout out to him. Got two mics. I have an adapter now, so now when I have somebody on, it won't be like when I was with Tristan and we sharing one mic, or with Taylor. We was sitting side by side in this little piece of shop, having to use one mic. But nah, it won't be like that. It'll be two different mics. It'll be two different mics. Be way easier to hear me and whoever else is on here, man. Excited for more people to join, man. I feel like involving more people into the podcast is like has been a lot of fun lately. So I definitely want to keep doing that. Got a sheriff rolling by, so hopefully he don't come over here tripping or whatnot. He probably didn't even look up here. But as you can see, we hanging, man. We hanging. It's a very thick edge right here, so I'm not being reckless. It's not that thin little edge like you typically see at the top of a parking deck, but it's a thick edge right here. So like I got my whole butt and thighs on the edge. I ain't tripping. I'm low key I'm like afraid of heights, but not afraid of heights at the same time. Also enjoy the view. I'm glad that I'm starting to. The homie Keon, the one Keon, suggested the idea to start recording my video recording my podcast, and I was like, shoot, why not try it? Because I feel like I had the thought one day, but I didn't even look into it like that. But when he said it, I was like, maybe I should try that. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying it out. And now I don't have to explain where I am, but I can explain how it's feeling right now because it definitely doesn't feel how it looks. But it's a beautiful, cool summer night, man. It's a nice little, well, not like super cool, but it's cool enough. There's a breeze. It's not hot. There's a car that's looking confused. It looks like a cop car. It's got black rims. I don't know what he's trying to do. They going through the little middle there, but it's whatever. Anybody else afraid of heights? Are y'all afraid of heights? Any of y'all afraid of heights, man? Because being up here, my legs, that little tremble you get when you're doing something that you're scared to do, but you still do it anyways. That's what I feel. That's what I'm feeling in my legs, just my legs, not my back and my butt, but just literally my feet, because my feet are dangling. Not sure how much longer I'll last sitting here, but it's fun. It's fun to sit and do stuff like this. It's fun to look out on the view, be high up, man. Not look down. When you get high up, never look down, just look out. I should be looking out into the distance, It's not too often I've flown. There was a time in my life where I was taking flights, man. I was not going places. Don't feel like I'm trying to brag or flex. No, I'm definitely definitely not flexing. Not no humble flex. None of that. But my chances when I did have opportunities to fly, maybe once a year or twice a year, from college to my second year outside of college. Those were some fun years, man. Those are fun years, bro. Flying is because I love clouds. One, I love clouds. That's why I'm up here. I want to look at the clouds because the sun was setting, but it took so freaking long to get to a good spot, man. I had to walk up the steps to come here. Elevator didn't even work, but it's whatever. We made it. We got a nice red, pinkish hue going on, fuchsia-ish over there. You know what I mean? But I also, before I started, I was like, ooh, I can talk about how my brain works sometimes when I do stuff like this. Okay, so check it out. So you see where I'm at. You see what I see. You see that I'm chilling. I'm literally looking out to the outermost parts of the world, to the edge, you feel me? But what you don't see is that behind me is like the parking spots and obviously the exit. So like the staircases are on my left and on my right, like my immediate left and right, like my 9 o'clock and my 3 o'clock, right? My 9 o'clock and my 3 o'clock. So directly right here and then directly right here to my right. And each time that I've come over to this one, I'll sit on the edge because it's thick. Um, and when I'm up here, my brain comes up with the wildest scenarios. Like, and this is normal. This is normal for my brain to come up with these scenarios. And so what my brain does is I think, man, somebody's gonna come up here and be like enraged to just push me off because they know they can get away with it. And I have to like check my back and check the stairs, all that, just to make sure like nobody's coming. And it's like, bro, for one, nobody ever comes to this parking deck. Like I've seen people up here on this parking deck twice. In the past 5 years, I've seen people up here twice. I've gone. So the one right beside it is the one that I typically go to, and I've been on that one plenty of times, like throughout the week. It was almost a ritual for me to just come and watch the sunset, at the parking deck right beside it. And so it's like I know people don't come up here because you can't even drive into this one unless you like live in the building or whatever. And so me, obviously, I would just take the elevator or the stairs, depending on how I was feeling. And I come over here and I still would be like, oh, somebody's going to sneak up. Somebody's going to get me. Somebody's going to push me off. And as soon as I get to the part where I'm thinking about somebody pushing me off, like they snuck up behind me, I've already made up my mind that that's a reality. And then my mind goes to, well, if it's a reality that they're sneaking up, it's a reality they're going to push me. And my legs start to feel the little tremble feel that I was feeling. So each time that my brain thinks of it, it's like my legs start to feel like, oh my gosh, how is it going to feel when you jump off? How's it gonna feel when we get to the ground? Like that's what my legs be doing. They be telling my brain like, bro, it's gonna be wild. You feel that sense of weightlessness. That's the tremble that I'm talking about, like weightlessness when you're on a roller coaster, or that little feeling of like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm feeling, but I know I'm about to feel it. That feeling. Oh, it's wild that my brain be doing that. And then once my mind is off of it, I'm to this comfortable spot. Like right now, no type of tremble, none. Because I'm like making fun of it. But as soon as I go back to, ooh, I've been looking out this way too long, and I'm like, somebody might be behind me, and it gets back to the tremble thing. But right now it's not. Thank you, Lord, for it not coming. But anywho, I came up here for a quick one, man, and I honestly just wanted to talk about how I've been feeling lately. And y'all, can I just tell you, I've been feeling good, yo. I've been feeling really good, man. Like, it's been a while since I've had like consecutive weeks and consecutive days of like just feeling good, and like doing good. Not only feeling good, but I'm doing good as well. And I mean doing as in the physical, the mental, the social, the emotional, the active wise. Like active wise, I'm doing good, and it just feels good. But I've noticed like the devil be trying to get me because like a lot of my battles don't come with like people or women or drugs or alcohol or anything like that. And not saying that my battle is that I'm better or more righteous because those aren't my battles. I'm saying if you knew, all right, I got much respect to anybody who acknowledges their struggle, acknowledges when they're in it, and acknowledges how they can get out of it. Jesus, it's hard to get out by yourself, buddy. And then I would think, do you ever really get out of it if you did it on your own? Like, did you really get out of it? You know what I mean? Or are you just finding a means to avoid, and you actually still are in it? You know, and deflect and whatnot. But anywho, my personal battles, a lot of it is mental. And so what the devil like has been doing like subtly, he's like, yo, are you sure you're happy? Like you don't remember last month, like 2 weeks in a row, you was kind of down, my boy. You weren't really happy like that. I mean, it was okay, but we weren't really feeling that great, were we? Like, remember that? I remember like 2 months ago when it was, hard. Remember back when work was heavy and stuff like that. Remember when customers were wilding at you at almost every day you was getting a wild customer and you know what I'm saying? You don't remember those? Like remember when you remember how that felt? Remember how you was then? And it's like, dag, for a split second, I'd be like, yeah, I did. I wasn't feeling good those days. Those weren't great times. But it's like, hold on, but that's literally the past. I can't change anything about the past. And it's like the devil tries to get me because he knows once my brain gets on it and I'm thinking about it and my thought process is there, it can quickly or subtly start to change my emotions and how I'm feeling. And once my emotions and my feelings align with the negative thought, my actions become negative. It's easier for me to sin. It's easier for me to fall into stuff that way when my thought process is already jacked up and negative. You feel me? So it's like my huge battlefront is mental for one, because like a lot of myself is internal thought process, with outward responses. You know what I mean? Because it starts from the head down to the heart, and then it comes out in the actions, and that could be very quick. It could take a week, it could take a day, it could take 2 minutes for my thought and my mindset to change, and I go do something that I didn't even want to do. You feel me? So when I say like my big battle is mental, it's because my mental, that battle leads into the other stuff. Like there's days where I'm like, I'm not feeling that great. Might as well drink a little bit. And it's like, I know that I'm drinking to have fun. I don't want to drink to get drunk. But then when my mind, telling you, when my mind is like that, it's like, we can have a little bit more. We at home. It doesn't matter. Like, no, it matters. It matters. It matters because if you do it at home, then you're going to be out in public doing that. Then you're going to hurt your witness. Then people are going to be like, wait, I thought that was a dude that would be serving at his church. Didn't we visit his church one time and he greeted us when we went in and he out here like that. It can go from just one little chill by yourself moment, and it's like you work through it. It happened. You get over it. It could turn into being in front of people, being in the public. So it's all about your will. It's all about what you want for yourself. It's all about obedience. It's all about not trying to figure stuff out on your own. It's all about not allowing yourself to just sit and soak in those negative thoughts, those negative feels, those emotional states that bring you to a point where it's just you're not at your best. You feel me? Because that's me a lot of times. And I hide it too. I hide it well. I mask it well. You know what I mean? People they be like, oh, how you doing? Like, oh, I'm all right. And then, that's it. That's typically it. So, yeah. I remember the homie Juliana, man. Shout out to Snow. And the hubby. How you doing? Mr. How we doing? You know what I'm saying? Casey. But the homie Juliana, she used to be like, how are you doing? And she like picked up on my vagueness and whatnot. I would always answer people with vague questions of like how I'm doing. Or I would typically answer people with like a vague answer and whatnot. Because people, I don't trust people off rip like that. I don't like when people like trust me that much off the bat, because it's like, give me a chance to like earn your trust before you just trust me. Like, I'm trustworthy. Like, I know I'm trustworthy. I'm not going to do nobody dirty in no type of way. And if it does be that way, it's like something that's like, again, my thought process was stupid and I just like didn't communicate something or whatever. And it's not even like a huge, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that Gabe did me like that. It's more like, I wonder why he didn't say nothing. Or like, I wonder why he didn't, something like that, And that's only happened like I could count on one hand how many times that's happened. But anywho, she would be like, yo, what up? What up, Shaboy? What up, Gabe? What up, brother? Or she called me Cocoa Bean. She calls me Cocoa Bean. I call her Snow. And she'd be like, how are you? She's like, how you doing? I'd be like, yeah, I'm all right, you know what I mean? Boot dangling, you feel me? Out here in the streets, you feel me? Doing what I got to do day by day. And then she's like, okay. But how are you actually doing? Because it was like, she would pick up on that. She would pick up on how I was answering, and she's noticed how I answered over time, like with other people. And she's like, he didn't really say how he was actually doing. And I got away with it for a long time, and I still kind of do, you know. But again, that's because I don't like that vulnerability with people off the bat. It's like, nah, I'd rather take time to learn that I can trust you rather than just try and trust you like that with how I'm doing. You feel me? But yeah. And right now, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. Um, it's been fun doing these little TikToks and videos and posting on Instagram. I hope y'all been liking it. Um, Oh, and I'm supposed to rap about turtles, my boy, on TikTok. Don't forget that I heard you or I saw your comment in your consciousness. You think about turtles. What I got a turtle comment. Turtles, my favorite one is a Squirtle. And if you don't call him a Squirtle, he'll do you dirtle. Or should I say he'll throw you in the dirty myrtle. Big water, big lakes, big Squirtle, big tank. Turtles are super cool and super fun. They slow, but they kind of racist. They don't hit the white shoe, but they always hit in the black ones. Ha 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 ha. Have y'all seen that? If you saw the turtle video where the turtle like ignored the white tape, but was like hitting the brown tape and hit like head butting the black tape, you'll get that. But there go your turtle rap. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget I'm a rapologist and I can always bring it back. Stay on topic, off the hat or off the dome, but I'm soon to go home. Not to my earthly home, off to my heavenly brotherly. Sometimes it flows, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. You understood. I got bars. Like, I got bars for days. Off the top, no written. Off the scripty. Off the script, no kizzy, you feel me? But y'all, man, I hope y'all are doing good, man. It's okay to be doing good, yo, and acknowledge that. Like, like for my believers, it's okay to feel good and acknowledge it and know that the devil is going to try you. He's going to try and remind you of when you weren't feeling good. He's going to try and subtly work his way into making you feel like, but you shouldn't be doing good. Remember when you weren't doing good and you weren't being obedient, or remember when you was in your sin a little bit, you know, you was kind of falling back to it a little bit, or you was like kind of tempted by it and you really wanted to give in, but you didn't give in, but the next day you really wanted to give in still, but you didn't give in, and then you did it again the next day and you was feeling really tempted by it and you want to do it. Like, he tries to get you, bro. Like, he wants you to feel bad. He doesn't want you to feel good. And if you do feel good and he's not trying you in any way, shape, or form, then I'd say be careful of your perspective on how you're actually doing and on your relationship with God. That's for my believers, all right? Feel good, acknowledge it, thank God, be grateful for that. I'm definitely been grateful. Like, I've had random moments throughout the week, these past like 2 weeks, where I'm just like, man, God, like, I feel good. Like, thank you. Like, this is great. Like, I'm thankful that I can feel like this. I'm thankful that, you know, I can have this normal life. There's nothing crazy and like grand that I'm doing, but I'm appreciative of life, of breathing, of doing well, having friends, helping out at church, having friends and family at church, you know, my family's doing well, or just being able to love my family, you know, and hear all the good stuff that my family's doing. Like, got some cousins that are playing football, and it's like a lot of us are going to try and watch his games and stuff, and, you know, up in Charlotte, and another cousin is boxing. Shoot, just had his first boxing match, and hopefully he'll have another one soon so I can go to that one. I missed the first one. But he won. He out here got the hands. And then just other stuff, man. Just life. Just enjoying life, enjoying family, and even being able to be there for other people when they're not doing good. Like, that's okay too. Like, I'm in a state where I can help and be there for people that aren't feeling okay and aren't doing well and care for them in that way. And that still makes me feel good. Like, you know, I'm able to not let myself get entrapped with, oh, they're not doing good, I shouldn't feel good. Like, nah, like be in it with them, like feel with them, but understand that you can be there to be a strength, to be a help, to be an aid, rather than a crutch and just sit there and mope with them or be hurt and be sad and be all this with them, rather than try and help them, find a solution or help them find the means to get out of what they're in. You know what I mean? And like, it just feels good, man. It feels good. So I hope y'all are feeling good. If you are feeling good, I want you to take a moment to just understand it's okay to feel good. It's okay to be doing good. It's okay for life to just not feel hectic. Even though, and I should have said this at the beginning. Life ain't peaches and cream for your boy, you feel me? Like, stuff is still going on. But me? It's your boy here? I'm feeling good, man. I'm doing good. Like, if I could explain, like, it would hit a lot harder if I told y'all. You know what I mean? But I don't even need to, you know? Like, I really don't need to. But just understand, like, come up with whatever scenario that you want to. But it's just like, yes, there's things that are happening that aren't great, that I'm not enjoying. But I'm doing good, man. And it feels good to feel this way. And I now want to use this as a reference point when I'm not doing good. And I can say, you know what, devil, remember when I was feeling really good? Yeah, I'm going to go back to that. Like, you almost had me right here. You almost had me. You almost brought me back to that little spot that you like to put me in. And then I get to my little, you know what I mean? I turn to my little ways, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't seeking out Jesus like that, But I want to use this as a reference point. And that's hard. That's easier said than done. Don't act like I got it figured out now, I don't. Need it every day. I don't know, the Bible verse for today. There's a Holy Bible app. I'm sure most of y'all got it. But the Holy Bible app, the verse for today is those who seek find. And like the only way you find Jesus is like when you search with your whole heart, you find him. I would look it up, but obviously I'm recording with my phone. But yeah, that's a really good verse. That's an honest verse, because like that's really been the main ingredient lately. Like being consistent and like just being in the Word, reading the Bible, just to understand, just to see, just to get a grasp of like tools that I can put on my belt, things that I can remember, things that I can pray back to God. Praying over things consistently, and then allowing the Spirit to, when He does, like lead me to pray for other things, and other people. So it's a good time, man. It's a good time. Again, I'm doing good. Some situations that aren't great for me right now, but dude, it's okay with what you're going through. It's okay to go through things. It's okay to deal with things. It's okay to have interruptions in your life. But those interruptions that seem like it's taking you off your path, taking you off your plan, those interruptions can be useful to God. Those interruptions can be really useful to God. My pastor was preaching that today, dealing with interruptions. He was calling it DWI, and he preached from the passage of Mark 5 when the young girl had died, and Jesus came, and he had said the girl isn't dead, she's sleeping, and people started laughing. And then first of all, the devil be working and like playing with our minds when you can laugh about someone being dead. Like the fact that they thought she was dead and somebody comes in and says she's sleeping and they laugh. Like in the room with the body, with the parents there and the family there. Like, you just got to understand that there's so much ingrained in us innately that makes us turn in disbelief and scoff at things that God wants to do for us. Like, you don't have to be sad. Like, He can make you happy. Like, I get how that sounds. So for some people, like, you don't have to talk to people the way you do because of how you're treated. Like, you can be healed from that. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. Like you don't have to. I mean, there's so many things that I could just speak on, like from my own personal temptations. Like you know, like you don't have to be mad at people when they do you dirty. Like there's a righteous anger, yes, there's a righteous anger, but once that anger turns into a negative action, like that's where you mess up. You know what I'm saying? You don't so much that I could go into that because it frustrates me that there's so many people that deal with the same exact temptations, the same exact thoughts that I can have, and I know how harmful those can be. I know how painful these thoughts and actions can be, but they have no they have nothing to turn to make it better. They have nothing to turn to be pulled out from it, to be delivered from it, to be freed from it. They're stuck in this trap of I have to do it this way. It has to be like this, or I have to be like this. I have to feel like this. I have to make this person feel this. You're trapped in that. And that's a trick of the enemy, man. That's a trick of the devil, yo. Like, if you don't believe, hey, I know it might not make sense. But if you do believe, you know how true this is, yo. Like, devil ain't playing out here, man. He is playing. He's playing games and he's playing our minds, bro. Like, he wants us in any position other than a position that's prostrate to God. Like, as long as we not looking to God, he's fine. Your life could be peachy keen and nothing really bad happened. Like that. I wouldn't say nothing really bad because death is like something that can really push somebody to Jesus sometimes. Like God has used the death of a loved one to like pull people closer to him, you know? Or even just death in general. I'm sure God has used death in general. Like there's so many means that God can draw somebody to them to like have them truly question like, hey, do I want to believe in God? Do I want to trust him? He doesn't make you believe. He doesn't cause you to. You have the free will to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give God a chance. Hey, you know what? I love God. You know what I'm saying? Like you have that free will. If you didn't have free will, you'd be a robot. You'd be like what some people think. Some people think that you don't have free will if God predestined, if there are predestined people. Well, if God knows all things, why doesn't he know who's going to actually choose to love him and serve him? Like, that doesn't make sense if he's all knowing. Like, if he's past, present, and future, like, how is he not supposed to know who's going to say, you know what? I actually believe in you and I actually mean it. Like, how is he not supposed to know that? Like, if he made us before we were ever in the womb, like, how does he not know that I'm going to, like, how does he not know how I'm going to turn out? How does he not know I'm not going to kill somebody or do drugs and just be a drug addict and overdose or something crazy? You know what I mean? How does he not know that? And it's like he intervenes on so many behalves, but because of our own choices. Like it's mind blowing. Like I can't even fully explain it to like make sense right now. But hey, just know there's a God that loves you no matter what, bro. No matter what, man. I think I'm due for a good cry. Like this puts me in like my heart feels right now like, man, I could use a good cry. I know it's gonna come. And even though like I said, even though I'm doing good, even like there's always a time for a good cry to God, man. Always gotta cry out, man. You gotta find your cry. You gotta find your cry. There were some men that told me at this retreat that I did, you've got to find your cry. Cry out to God. You got to find it. Because once you find it, boy, and you crying out, ooh, it's a wrap. Devil gets scared, boy. Devil gets scared when we crying out to God, my boy, because that's when God worked. He said, oh, don't put your hand on my baby, though. That you thought was sweet, my boy. You thought these was sweet, my boy. Nah, I got to put the paws on you now. They done turned to me. You feel me? Oh, see, people are walking up here. But anywho, it's good, man. Good talking. Good seeing everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to my people who aren't doing well, man. You already know what it is. But like, yeah, man, just keep on. Don't give up. You don't find Jesus, hey man, just try and do your best to figure it out and don't lose yourself. Keep your integrity, keep your character. But if you are curious, seek him. Seek him with your whole heart. You'll find him. That's what his word said. His word ain't never failed from what I've seen. What I've experienced, his word ain't never failed, bro. As many times as I thought it did, and I realized it never failed. It was me not seeing it. It was me not seeing it because I didn't want to see it, you know? And then the enemy gets you, man. Boy, but I tell you what, when Jesus gets you and you let him get a hold of you and you don't let go, because he don't never let go. And then you feel that hold and you notice that hold and that embrace that he has, ooh, it's game over, my boy. You're a whole different ball player now. It's a whole different ball game for the devil. You got to switch his tactics up. He be switching his tactics up for me, man. Something that's been helpful for me and my temptations is don't one of the brothers here, one of the elders at the church was like, I didn't have this temptation because I didn't have the taste for it anymore. So now I'm thinking to myself like, ooh, okay, how am I keeping the taste of this temptation like relevant? And I noticed for one of my major ones that I'm dealing with, I'm like, okay, I see how I'm trying to keep the taste for it. Like I'm not giving into it, but I'm keeping the taste for it, if that makes sense. Like I'm putting myself like right at the door to just open it and walk into sin, you know? Like that's where I'm putting myself, like the taste for it, you know? So it's like, lose that taste. Don't put myself in that position to be at the door. Stay away. You know what I mean? Lose the taste for it. Lose the taste for it. Every day. It's an everyday thing. Don't think this is a one day fix all, a one day good day of temptation and dealing with it, and then the next day not really tempted, because it's gonna come up again. That's how the devil is, man. He tries to get you. He's trying to destroy you, bro. It's like I said, he just wants to keep you from Jesus. Don't. Man. I get worked up on the insides because it's like I know there's so many people that would just feel and be doing so much better and actually have life and have eternal life if they just sought God with how much they tried to handle things on their own. If you sought God as much as you tried to do stuff on your own and make a name for yourself, bro, the world would be crazy. Be a freaking world changer, bro. Pastor said another one. He was like, the best ability is availability. So make yourself available to God, man. Let Jesus come in your heart, my boy. If you don't know how, ask somebody. Ask me. Hit me in the DMs. Hit me in the DMs. All things Gabe on Instagram. I think everything Gabe on TikTok. But it's whatever. You can find me. You'll find me if you want to. You'll find me if you want to. Because all I'm going to do is point you to Jesus. You feel me? But hey, I hope y'all enjoy. Hope this was enjoyable. Light's gone. It's all dark and, well, not gloomy. I was about to say gloomy. It ain't dark and gloomy. It's just dark. So I'm going to head out. It's your wrap. Peace. Oh my gosh. I didn't change it. That's funny. Oh, I still ain't stopped this stuff.